Tropical storm Eta has formed last night in the eastern Pacific with winds of 40 miles per hour. As you can see that nice convective blowups here over the center on that satellite imagery. The storm formed last night, 11 p.m. National Hurricane Center said it met the clarification for this to become a tropical cyclone. You can see here on the satellite imagery, we're getting some gusty winds and some convection spreading over Jamaica. They're probably getting around 25 to 30 knots, as well as some really nice convective blowups over the center of the system itself. As we look at the world right now, we have two systems in the Western Pacific. Of course, Gani there has made landfall, and in the in the Central Caribbean, we now have Eta. As of 7 a.m. Eastern Time, Sunday, November 1st, its location is at 14.9 degrees north, 76.7 degrees west, moving west at 15 miles per hour with a minimal pressure at 1,005 millibars, as well as max sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. You can see where it's currently located, moving westward at 15 miles per hour. Eta is expected to strengthen while moving westward over the Central Caribbean Sea. PCD scale 2, significant damage possible for the potential cyclone destruction scale here. Only a 2, but it's likely to rise up to a 3 or 4 overnight and tomorrow. And as you can see here, hurricane watches are in effect for the coast. Here's the current National Hurricane Center code calling for a hurricane landfall winds of 90 miles per hour. We're going a little bit lower than that with 75 to 80 miles per hour landfall. The National Hurricane Center is fairly confident on that as they've been continuing to rise the potential landfall point. This is the potential for winds. So as you can see here, we're expected around 75 to 80 miles per hour on the coast here, and then 40-50 as we move farther inland, and 70 to 75 on the eastern coast. Those numbers are a little bit high for the system is currently expected, but we're staying on the high possibility so that people do stay on alert for the possibility of a stronger system as it comes on. Here's the chances here. Only currently a 60 to 70% chance for tropical storm force winds in Nicaragua and Honduras. And once again, this is really going to be rising up very soon here. Here's the GFS model right here, calling for. Here's the GFS here model, really calling for an interesting path, which most models have taken. The European and CMC model showing a very similar outcome with a Cat 1 landfall here in Nicaragua, and then moving back north and re-strengthening potentially into a stronger system, moving over Cuba and going westward over Florida and potentially looping around in the Gulf and then kind of dissipating over there. So an interesting path here on the GFS as you track it along here. Just to show you guys a little bit more, here is the storm here when this loop is finished. You can see I'm going to be showing you guys. Here's the storm here as we follow it along. So you can see here where it's going. I'm just going to follow it here with my red line. And then you can see that it's likely to move back north on the specific cone forecast here. And then move south over Florida and then back and then kind of loop around here and does something a little bit weird here. As you can see, kind of staying in that general area and then potentially dissipating over the Gulf as it kind of dissipates out. So a very interesting track from the GFS. But this is update 1 on Tropical Storm Eta. We'll have more updates as it continues to strengthen today, overnight, and tomorrow.